I'm Brian Hall, and I work for C.F. Martin & Company in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, United States. And I'm here in City Music in Singapore to talk to you about guitar strings. Guitar strings are a little finicky. You have to know what you're looking for, you have to know about metallurgy, and it can be really hard and you can get lost. So I'm here to be your trail guide to help you find the perfect set of strings for you. So the first thing that I think about is, what are you trying to accomplish when you play the guitar? Are you looking for volume? Are you looking to play with a band? Are you just playing in your bedroom or on your porch? Are you recording yourself? All these things really matter. And without knowing that, I can't help you find a perfect set of strings. That's why you need to come here in the store. But I'll do my best over this video today. Where I usually start is, oftentimes you know what type of musician you might want to sound like. Maybe you want to sound like John Mayer. Maybe you want to sound like Ed Sheeran. Maybe you want to sound like Eric Clapton. And that's generally where you might start looking at Eric Clapton's choice strings. This set of strings right here is a very basic set of strings. It's no frills, but is very good quality. And that's the reason for 20 years, Eric Clapton has chosen to use these strings. They're made with phosphor bronze with our high tensile core wire, and they're made to give you that sound that sounds like Tears in Heaven on your acoustic guitar. Clapton's choice strings is a good place to start if you're not quite sure, but you like Eric Clapton. The other one that I would recommend is SP. Now, SP stands for superior performance. And I mentioned that high tensile core wire. That's a very special core wire that is in the middle of a guitar string. And high tensile core wire means that you're going to get a little stiffer string, but you're going to get a string that really transmits sound all the way through the guitar string, to the saddle, to the bridge, to the top of the guitar. The entire guitar is going to ring and sing. It's also no frills. These are basic guitar strings. They're just made exceptionally well for great tone. Now let's say you're looking for that great no frills tone that really makes the guitar stand out, but you want something even more traditional. Maybe not quite like phosphor bronze with the shimmery tone, something a little more flat, or even dead, or something a little more retro. Well, I would recommend Retro Acoustic strings. These strings are not made with a bronze alloy, right? It doesn't have all of the overtones that you might get with phosphor bronze. This is made with just pure Monel steel. And that Monel nickel and steel will provide you that traditional tone that you're looking for. Let's say you have a D28 and you want it to sound like an old country band from the 1960s. This is the string you're going to want. Also, if you play a mahogany guitar, so let's say you play a D18 or 0018 Martin guitar, you'll find mahogany and Monel go together. Just remember M for mahogany, M for Monel. You'll find that this is a great set of strings. So let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit up the ladder, and I'll show you a few new features that we've added to the lineup since the last 20 years or so. Everybody loves the sound and the feel of fresh strings, but it's a little bit of a pain to change them as frequently. And we know, especially in Singapore and Southeast Asia, you might want something that lasts a little bit longer. Well, that's where you want Martin Authentic Acoustic Lifespan 2.0 strings. Lifespan 2.0 basically means we've added a chemical treatment on the outside of the string that give it just a little bit longer lasting life. And that is why we choose Martin Authentic Acoustic Lifespan strings on all of our factory produced guitars. This is the strings that we trust more than any other string to give you the tone you're looking for. The other feature that we have, which I'm very excited about, because I am not a professional, super well-trained guitar player. I love playing the guitar, and I work for Martin Guitars, but I like something that's a little bit easier to play so I can sound like I'm better than I really am. And that's where flexible core strings come in. If you want a string that's a little bit easier, or if you're a professional or a virtuoso and you want something that gives you more flexibility to get bends or to get different techniques like hammer-ons and pull-offs, you'll want to use flexible core strings. This comes with our regular recipe. It's made in Navajo, Mexico. It's made with high tensile core wire. But the difference between this string and this string is that this string is a little stiffer, a little bit harder to play, and you'll have to play a larger gauge. This string, you can actually play easier because the core wire is a little bit thinner, and so that makes it exceptionally flexible. That's part of our Authentic Acoustic line. And the final part of the Authentic Acoustic line is one of my personal favorites, and that's Marquee silk-wrapped Authentic Acoustic strings. These are for either a traditional player who's maybe playing a vintage instrument or somebody who just wants a more secure fit. And what Marquee silk wrapping means basically is that you take a standard guitar string and you add a special red thread around the ball end. And that ball end goes into the bridge pin, secured in place with a slot or with a smooth bridge pin, and provides a secure fit. What does that secure fit do for you? It makes sure that it's right in there when you're changing the strings, but it also makes sure that that sound transmit from the bridge and the bridge plate to the string to the top of the guitar so that you get the best sound possible. So Marquee, silk-wrapped, Authentic Acoustic Martin strings. We don't just have basic strings, obviously, and these are wonderful, great strings that you can use on any instrument. But let's say you want to take it up a notch. Let's say you want to try something a little bit more specialized. Let's say you want something a little bit more premium. I would recommend that you go to Luxe by Martin. Luxe by Martin is a subline of strings. It's still made by us. It's still made with the same attention and care as all of our other strings. But what you add is a little bit of a more specialized feel. Luxe by Martin strings are made with a special alloy called nickel cobalt. And nickel cobalt, you might recognize, is the same types of materials you might find in electric guitar strings. Now, these are acoustic guitar strings, but they're made in some way to make you sound a little bit more like you're playing an electric guitar. You'll get a smoother feel, you'll get more flexibility, and you'll also get a great match with a magnetic pickup. So if you play electric guitar mostly, and you dabble in acoustic guitar, or you play acoustic guitar mostly, but you like the feel and the flexibility and the ease of playing an electric guitar, you definitely need to try Luxe by Martin Kovar strings. Now, the Kovar strings come in standard core and a flexible core. So just like I mentioned before, the flexible core strings give you a little bit a smaller diameter core wire. It means it's a little easier to play. Let's say you play 13s. Usually you like the tone of a 13, but it's just a little bit too stiff for you, and you really don't want to give up the 13s. Well, I would recommend you try 13s in flexible core because you'll get that easier feel. It feels like you're playing a gauge smaller, and you'll get the tone of the gauge larger. That's everything that Martin Guitar has had produced in guitar strings up until 2025. 2025 is a very special year for Martin strings because that's when we started launching our newest line of strings. And that is the new line of strings by Martin called Martin Era. And the era of Martin strings is just beginning, where we take all of the key features that we've had in the past. So standard high tensile core wire. You add the lifespan treatment that gives it the little bit longer lasting and a little bit smoother finish. Flexible core technology, which means a smaller diameter, which is easier to play, remember, for bends or for virtuoso playing, plus the Marquee silk wrapping. Again, that little red thread around the outside of the ball end that provides a secure fit. You add all those together and you come up with the most playable Martin string ever. These are just launching in 2025, will be available at City Music soon, and they are the best guitar strings that you can buy with a Martin name on them. So we'd recommend you come down to the store, try them out. And I always tell people, you could choose any guitar string. You could choose not Martin, you could choose another brand of strings, but if you want the best strings and you want to find your strings, you come down to the shop. You try out a couple brands of strings on the guitars on the floor, and then you take home a couple sets. You try them for yourself. I work for Martin Guitars. I guarantee you're going to find the best strings for you specifically. There's one thing at Martin Guitar that we will never, ever, ever compromise, and that is helping you sound the best you can. Tone for us is everything. It is all about the tone, because what are we here for? We're here to help unleash your artistry. You need the right guitar, but you also need the right strings. And finding strings is easy. All it takes is a little bit of know-how, how to change strings, how to try them, and then being able to open your ear to be able to find which strings are the best for you. So you might find that the retro strings are exactly what you're looking for. This might be the string that makes your D18 sound the best it's ever sounded before. Maybe you have a 00028 EC 30th anniversary Eric Clapton edition that you bought right here. You might find that his strings are the strings you like the best. You might find that this standard superior performance string is the right one for you. You don't need anything fancy, you just need a well-made string. Or you might want to try any one of these three: lifespan strings, Marquee silk wrap strings, flexible core strings. You try them out. You see. If you don't like them, let me know, and we'll make sure that we can find you a set of strings that you do like. But within the Martin string lineup, I know there's going to be a set of strings for you. So come to City Music or contact Martin Guitar, and somebody will help you make sure you can sound your best.